All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Dreamhack Winter 2013. We are ready, just about ready even, to continue on here of the series. Yes, that's right, a best of the three series once again. Lion Esportsklubb, though, up 1-0 currently as a result of, well, a lot of things coming together. Moon Queen a big factor, but just as a team, they looked pretty damn strong. And they were really, really good. So here we are, going to be game number 2 coming up now. IG versus Lion Esportsklubb, Beef.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good one right now. And, of course, as I had mentioned in that interview with Haxer, and IG with their backs to the wall right now, 1 game away from being eliminated from this tournament.
Yeah.
And so they've got to really put it all on the line. I mean, if they've got any pocket strats that they want to really consider right now, because that's a time.
Yeah.
Because I know Insania has said that they've got a lot of crazy things up their sleeves that they've been practicing for a while now. I also know that both Insania and Sender have said that this is the tournament for the Internet Gangsters. They weren't really focused on Soundbuster Heroes League. They weren't even focused on Han Tour at this point. That Dreamhack was the important one for them. And to be eliminated in 5th, 6th place, I think that would probably be a disappointment for the guys in IG. Look for them to be fighting really, really hard right now, Breaky. And trying to fight for their tournament lives here.
Yeah, you know, they had those 2 big losses in the group stages. One to Denali Esports, one to Stay Green, obviously. But you know, that the past is the past. You're here now. You're down 1-0 even to Lion Esportsklubb. You just got to focus on this game here. You can't worry about anything that's happened before. You can beat Lion Esportsklubb. I'm acting like I'm their coach here. I'm trying to prep them up, but if I was, this is what I would be saying. You can beat out Lion Esportsklubb. You've done it before in Hunter or whatnot. You've beaten every single team here for that matter. Why not now? Why not now? So Internet Gangsters, that's how you get hyped up. We'll see if it works here going into game number 2. But again, the game number 1, it's got to be a frustrating game they're coming off of for obvious reasons. That was a game where they had a lot of positive things working. I mean, they were never really able to lock down the Moon Queen in the end. But with that said, obviously they still had their positive factors. They had the Flux Energy combination. Redshack was doing solid. Corrupted Disciple was doing decent. I mean, he was kind of morphed because of Moon Queen's success to an extent. But obviously, again, it's just too much. It was just too much to handle. So I like we said, though, about the pocket strats. I mean, this is it. You can't save it, you know, hoping that you're going to maybe advance on if it's Stay Green or whatever. You do it now. You do it against Lion Esportsklubb. And as you can see, here it is, the drafting stage, Beef.
Man, that's such a cool animation.
I love it.
It really is great. And well, the draft is certainly going to be interesting right here, Breaky. And let's go ahead and get on into it. I mean, already the bans are going out here. Warbeast, Ophelia, and then Sandwraith. So Lions Hanskin really going to be denying the Sandwraith over there to IG. But Belly, known, of course, as one of these players that really does excel at playing the Sandwraith. So one that he's going to be denied right here. And then, of course, Warbeast and Ophelia, some jungles, and the suicide potential right there, definitely up there. So we'll see. Last ban here is going to be a Tempest.
I was going to say, okay. See, Keeper of the Forest, I expected to be first. Oh, they're going to go Engineer here. Okay. Because I was thinking similar to last game. I was wondering what that final ban was going to be. Was it just going to be the Keeper of the Forest in the end, or were they still going to go with that Tempest ban? They decided to go with the Tempest ban, but Lions, they love them some Engineer as well. They cannot pass it up. They want to go that. And they're probably thinking as well, there's a decent chance, because IG's not, they don't seem like a Keeper team to me, I don't know what it is. They just don't seem like a Keeper team to me. But in the end, they are going to go Keeper of the Forest, actually. So that, you know, Lions won't be, it's just, I think that's more of a we really just do not want to give that to Lion Esportsklubb kind of pick. But granted, I'm sure they're happy to have it themselves. And again, it's going to be interesting to see how they work off of that now. But Engineer being picked up, this is setting up for possibilities here, something maybe like the Ravener. They go Pestilence again. Super KGE going the Pestilence once again here, Beef. He did fantastic last game, but it's just different.
Yeah.
I feel dirty. It's weird.
I don't know, Breaky. I feel like Pestilence is kind of the breakout pick here at Dreamhack. There's always a hero or two that people really do start using, and Pestilence has definitely been used in the past as this initiator, but I think people are realizing that he's an initiator that's going to have strong burst damage in the mid game, but he's also got semi-carry potential. You can bump him up into that number 2 spot maybe, and he's going to be able to have some kind of carry potential going into the later game, at least more so than something like a Pebbles or a Devo or even a Prisoner. You're going to be able to get more out of him. So people are really liking the hero. Those recent changes to Flight from a few months ago are starting to come in right there, and definitely going to be an interesting pick as we do see him.
he got a massive amount of changes. I mean, we knew, especially after that 3.0 patch once again. I mean, we knew that it's like that was the one that really stood out. And all those changes, like this hero, holy crap, we're gonna start seeing him again. He has been once again been coming up and exactly. So it just still feels weird. I mean, they had the chance to go Ravener, Devourer. Those are the two that really stand out as possibilities for Super KG, of course. But in the end, they choose to go the Pestilence once again. But again, they did well with the last game, and he's going to go with it this game. Moon Queen once again picked up. So, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The classic quote right there. I believe I was the first one to say that.
Yeah. You stole the words out of my mouth. I was also going to take credit for saying that.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to go ahead and quote somebody else here and say that I guess anybody can win with Moon Queen. Quote Swindlemons. We'll see. Lions are certainly somebody's. So their Moon Queen is a little bit higher than your average Moon Queen. Well, and Uzi definitely showing it off.
It's not now. So now what do you do for your IG? I mean, last game they tried to maybe make the threat of an aggressive trial lane, but the Lions responded. You know, they went the Aluna with the final pick. They made a point that they're just going to run a 2-2-1. And so if you want to run an aggressive trial lane at us, that's just fine because we can adjust to that. So obviously that didn't happen in the end. IG now, though, with the Keeper of the Forest themselves, the Master Arms on top of this, so they're really thinking about this. I'm thinking something like a Ravener here could be a very sound option for them to go with in terms of being able to have a strong middle presence and jumping in gotcha potential, especially against that Moon Queen. But they're down to 20 seconds. They're putting a lot of thought into this final pick here. And Sandy, of course, the captain, but no doubt taking input from the team. They gotta come up with something here very quickly. Yeah. So is this going to be that oddball pick point or not?
Yeah, it very well could be, but I'm feeling that it's going to be a little bit more conventional. So this is kind of in between. Puppet Master is definitely one that they've experimented around with, using him in both a support capacity as well as a hard carry capacity. But we'll see. I mean, we don't know which one it's going to be. With a Master of Arms already on the team, I'm leaning a little bit more toward the hard carry.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the internet gangsters probably aren't going to give away that information really early. So this is kind of one that it's interesting because it's not somebody that's exclusively a short lane solo. So Lions has to kind of, still finagle their lineup around because otherwise you could just shut down that Puppet Master easy peasy by sending your own aggro.
Well, exactly. Well, that's what I'm kind of wondering is IG. Are they, again, going back to the idea of wanting to play aggressive? Puppet Master could definitely be a great hero to be an assistant in that trial and as they carry even. If they're looking to do something like that against this Moon Queen possibly. But that we're obviously going to have to wait to get that information. Obviously, I'm sure Lions even has that on their mind. Is that a possibility? As far as the bans are concerned here, we got Ravener into Parasite coming out from Lion Esportsklubb. So, again, taking away some jungle options from them, but also from themselves. So that's also making a point that they don't want to run a jungle. They're once again going to go for the dual support here when it comes down to it. Bubbles and Wretched Agro were the two bans coming out from Internet Gangsters. And now we got one more ban on either side. But again, the other thing that kind of worries me here for IG, they're down to 4 seconds. They're down to 4 seconds of extra time, that is. That hurts because now you don't 100% know what Lions is going to be doing, obviously. You want to be able to maybe adjust depending on what they pick up, but they're not going to have much time to think about it. So I'm going to definitely keep an eye on that, and I'm sure that's going to go all the way down to 1 second pretty much in the end. But they will not have much time to think about it.
It's certainly interesting because Insania and Swindlemons are very much so on the same page. Yeah. Good friends over there. They talk a lot. They compare drafting notes. And Insania is one of these players that does keep a drafting notebook. He's very much so check, 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 check. Like, this is what I should be doing here for optimal drafting. And the fact that he's down to 4 seconds, I think really tells you how flustered he might be right now, saying, we're trying here. We're trying everything at this tournament. And our only win so far is against Myth S2Y.
That's true. The group stages, man, I mean, in the past we've had maybe best of twos or maybe in a couple more games, but this was really one of the shorter group stages we've ever really had because one game against every other team, so only 4 matches in total, and then you're moving on to the next stage, and some teams obviously not even moving on. So, really not a whole lot of play going into this bracket stage in the first place. So
they did beat the BYOC team as well, DTSC.
Obviously, yeah.
So I forgot about them for a second there, but...
Andromeda and then Grinix coming out with the final ban. Again, Jonas fan with the Grinix plays it phenomenal. Scout's going to be insta-pick, though.
Okay.
They are happy to have a Scout, and so that'll probably end up in the hands of Jonas fan as well. And I'm sure he's just fine with that hero. And Now the final pick, or not the final pick, but the second to final pick for IG. But again, this goes back to the time. They only have 14 seconds in total now before they need to make this pick here.
Yeah, going to need to make that decision indeed, and still looking for something to probably complement with some kind of an initiation. And we'll see. They are going to go a Witch Slayer. So, man, look at Master of Arms, Puppet Master, Witch Slayer. Those are 3 potential supports right there. Of course, one of them at least is not going to be playing that role, but Squishy. They are going to address this Moon Queen. They're going to address the Moon Queen early. If IG does not have a massive lead by 20, 25 minutes in this game, I'm really worried about this lineup. They're very much so relying on the early game CC-oriented and gank-oriented playstyle.
Yeah, it's just against a Moon Queen in general. If you don't have a lead going against a Moon Queen into that 25-minute mark, then you are fearing for your lives, because we see just so many times that hero and what he's able to accomplish. Look at Kraken being right-clicked. Kraken's a funny hero recently. It seems like he's been left alone a lot of the time. And Lion Esportsklubb, if they could last pick a Kraken here, I mean, that would be interesting though, because then I'm actually very curious how they would actually lane that out. So I don't think it's going to be a Kraken the more I'm thinking about it, because yeah, I was going to say that would actually set up for some funky lanes. They are just going to go Torture in the end, but that does mean that dual support. And again, the possibility they could run a Trident themselves if maybe something is sent at them from IG, but also very likely could just be that 1-2-2 strategy coming out here. So now IG, their final pick, they got about 13 more seconds to decide. What is it going to be? It has to be I don't know.
You would think it's going to be some kind of a stunner.
A stun, yeah, that's true. I mean, they do got some pretty good lockdown already, but wow.
This is so aggressive. Like, they need to have a really early lead here, Breaky. But it's kind of counterintuitive at the same time. Keeper of the Forest mixed in with 4 hyper-aggressive int-style ganking heroes.
Yeah.
It's like he's so passive. He contributes literally nothing to any aggression up until that level 6 mark. And even then, he can participate really in 1 gank every 120 seconds.
Yeah.
Which means that, let's say he gets level 6 at 7.5 minutes in. He's going to be able to contribute with 3 roots by the time 15 minutes comes around.
Yeah, as far as the locked-in is concerned, we did talk about the squishiness here on the help punches, and so that's where it's kind of that up and down. He will be able to provide the Nature's Veil for the armor, as well as the invis for escape, or even setting up ganks in the first place. So in that sense, he can provide somewhat of good play for this team. But I definitely obviously see where you're coming from. Consider more of the passive style of jungler just to the end, and not going to be the jungler here, but just this passive style or hero at least earlier on, and up until he has that root for the team. So with that said, once again here, while we are on this pause, take a look at your screen, and now that you know the draft especially, how do you think this game's going to play out? Either type of ! Lions or ! IG in chat, and that opens up your Twitter message, which then you have to post to actually make a vote, and actually. Oh, so I guess it's carrying over.
Nice.
It's carrying over.
There you go. Lions still at 71. I got to say, coming out of the drafting stage here, I'm going to give the Lions the edge just because they have the more versatile lineup at different stages of the game.
Yeah.
IG are very much so all in right now, Breaky, and they've got to make something happen early. This game will not go to 60 minutes. This game is not even probably going to go to a 40-minute mark. Either IG wins early or Moon Queen takes off, and IG's going to be tapping out of this tournament. Yeah. So we'll have to see, especially how they're going to lane this. But at the same time, I mean, Puppet Master is going to be able to carry pretty effectively if he gets a strong start. So maybe I'm giving too little credit here to the guys on the internet Gangsters. I'm just still really worried about having 4 really squishy heroes going up against Scout, Moon Queen, Pesty.
And I don't think you are, though. I mean, again, it's just the idea of going up against Moon Queen in the first place, and the makeup of this team, it does speak for more of we want to win the early game. We want to have a great time going to the mid-game stage. We do not want to have to worry about recovering as the game moves on and, coming back from being behind. So no doubt I do expect IG to be playing fairly aggressive earlier on in this game. Now, with that said, you look at Lion Esportsklubb, again, obviously they have the Moon Queen, but they just have a very well-built team, Frank. I mean, they got the strong initiation, they got strong team fight, they got the hard carry, they got a couple of carry potentials, even obviously throw the Scout on top of that total span, and also look at how they're laning. They're running an aggressive tri-lane themselves with the Moon Queen. We see this every now and then. They're going the Moon Queen Torture Engineer here. That means Pestilence going to be solo middle, at least initially. And then Scout is going to be in the bottom lane, but IG, I don't know if they're going to be prepared for this, but this is also a little interesting too, because IG obviously has potential to react to this. I mean, they have Witch Slayer and Puppet Master already up top here. They could easily send Glacius as well. And then you have actually a pretty strong trial lane on IG side also. So
I mean, it's a tri-lane. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's pretty strong here, Breaky. I mean, Puppet Master and Witch Slayer are two heroes that desperately need levels to really gain their efficacy. Level 1 fighting from Witch Slayer, level 1 fighting from Puppet Master, it's like you've got almost nothing compared to Torture that's going to have impalements and chain reactions, and Engineer that's going to have an extremely strong stun. And then, oh, there's the Keg going out. Wasn't perfectly timed with that Moonbeam, but I really don't think that IG is going to be able to contest this. If they do, they're going to be definitely in the weaker tri-lane. So I think they're just going to try to really gain any kind of advantage they can in the middle lane by harassing with the double range, deny as much farm as possible to Super KGE, and really pick up any scraps up top for Puppet.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see how this plays out. I mean, already you see the towers even taking some pressure right there. At the top side, Fibelli, though, is just going to farm up the creep wave at the tower. And eventually, oh, he even misses that last one right there. Again, it is difficult when you're dealing with the tower also taking them out. So Moon Queen going back, going to finish off the creeps here. And still trying to hit that level 2 mark herself. But you see Puppet Master again falling back. And actually, Witch Slayer is going to just retreat. So they're almost going to be just giving this up here. So that goes back to what you're saying. They just don't feel confident that they could even contend with this if they wanted to. So don't force it. Just make adjustments elsewhere. Witch Slayer is, I guess, going to be kind of mid. I mean, this is going to set up to more of a tri-lane mid even. And that's somewhat interesting to see. But, I mean, because he's not really going to be a partner for Keeper of the Forest by any means. So Witch Slayer is ultimately going to be playing a roaming Witch Slayer in the end. And obviously that's not necessarily the most ideal role for him. But you got to make adjustments, man.
Yeah, Super KG already predicting that there was probably going to be increased pressure put on him in the middle lane as a result of this laning phase. So he's already stacked out the yellow camp over there, and he'll be able to take that one out a little bit later on. Going to get him any kind of farm that he's really looking at. But so far, I mean, I think things are definitely going to be in pretty good shape for Lions. And now Engineer going to be able to start the roam, seeing that there's in fact no longer a Witch Slayer up top, no longer needs to be an Engineer, meaning that Engineer can roam into the middle lane. Now, this does set up a situation where if they're going to commit to a dual lane mid here from the Legion, that they're going to have to actually receive some aggression. And when you're coming in with the Witch Slayer, Master of Arms, Glacius, that tri-lane in the middle lane definitely has kill potential on either the Pestilence or the Engineer.
Yeah, so they do need to be careful about this adjustment. Obviously, again, you don't want to keep leeching the experiences you're pointing out, but at the same time, if you are this Engineer, if you are Seal Kid here, know that this isn't by no means you setting up to be a lane that you can play aggressive in. I mean, even if it was just the Master of Arms Glacius, obviously that itself can be very high in the kill potential list. So yeah, I don't even know if Engineer coming here, I mean, again, I understand why they're doing it, but in fact, right here, right off the bat, he gets a little too far up. He is going to be fine. Thought they might have tried to follow that up right there, but.
Well, they tried. There was a missed auto attack though, Breaky, and of course that level 1 stun doesn't do a ton from Master of Arms. Need the Forked Lightning follow up right there. So Engineer's like, hey, I'm a naturally tanky guy, and I'm an awesome hero. And well, definitely having an all right time there. But now Seal Kid is just going to get his level 2, and I guess roam back up top as Witch Slayer has shown himself. As long as Witch is up here, Engineer's going to follow. That's essentially what Seal Kid's job is going to be right now. And if there's no Engineer mid, Pestilence is going to be happy leeching experience. But Insania's got to be really, really not happy. And in fact, there's the TP from Puppet Master.
Wow.
Going to be able to take it bottom.
Yeah, so the very late adjustment, but it's a case of they got to make something happen, because this is a slow start for Internet Gangsters as a team. So they're going to send Puppet Master to the long lane. With that said, Scout's been doing pretty decent, of course. He's 19-10 down here, and he even has a 2-level advantage on this Puppet Master. So although, you know, Puppet Master is a pretty solid laner, especially in a case like this, with that 2-level advantage, I think Scout could actually manage very well. And back to see right there, coming out with the harassment of the disarm. Keeper of the Forest, he goes to the top lane. The supports, they're making their adjustments here from the Hellborn side. And as they are, they're trying to gank the middle lane in the meantime, but you see NG and Pestilence, they're going to be a little too quick for that. And now Scout's supporting top. So Lion Esportsklubb, they're gonna answer Internet Gangsters. So a lot of mind games going on here, Beef.
Oh, good decision to actually make this rotation, because they're the ones that are going to be able to have the more versatile tri-lane. They have the stronger one right now. And Moon Queen, she'll get farmed no matter where. If she's able to shut down the farm from Puppet Master, that's just a little bit of a plus. Up top, Keeper of the Forest is going to be getting really close to hitting level 6. And with the assistance from a level 2 Witch Slayer, they might be able to set up a kill on somebody like this Torture. But of course, once again, Witch Slayer and Keeper of the Forest, two heroes with not the highest kill potential at lower levels, and especially a level 2 Witch. It does almost nothing. Oh, Puppet has to TP back up top right now. Yeah. He got 2 CS in that bottom lane right there, Breaky, and then has to make his way back up here. This is looking really grim for Fabelli 5 minutes into this game.
Yeah, Puppet Master, level 5. He's only looking at 200 gold per minute, so not the ideal start. But again, it's fun watching this, though. I know there's no action just yet in terms of hero kills, but just simply the mind games coming out here from both sides. They're trying to counter one another with the mental side of things rather than, you know, the brute force of just killing one another on the battlefield. And so far, it really just continues to seem like the Lion Esports Club is going to slightly have that advantage, because it continues to go back to the idea that we're talking about from the very beginning. IG, they were going to be looking for that earlier start here. They were going to be looking for more of the aggressive start. So far, that's not going to be the case. And Moon Queen is having a phenomenal start with that set, 340 gold per minute. She's doing just fine. She's going to go to the side shop here, finish her Steam Boots probably. There you go. So Steam Boots we're going to teach her. And again, that GPM is high up there. Top lane, though, Keeper of the Forest, Puppet Master, and Witch Slayer. They're going to apply some pressure right here. Scout's level 6. Oh no, Witch Slayer.
Oh wow, that was a lot of damage from tower
attacks. Oh no, Scout's gonna open. No, he's gonna be hexed though. He has a marksman shot. Can he get it off? No, health potion. If inches fail, he'll be fine. Jeez. If it wasn't for the health potion, then he probably would be dead, but
yeah. Good reactions there from the guys from IG. They're going to be able to save their poor little Witch Slayer, at least for now. But Dust is going to be going out here. There's the Puppet Show. Non-lethal damage going to be coming. There's the Graveyard Stunt as well. Scout as well as the Helmborn team going to be falling back. So still no Bloodlust kill 6 minutes in, but there's the deny on the tower. And nice. I mean, Lions, they've got a small resource advantage, but this is really a much larger advantage in this game right now. One of the biggest things that Hackstern said they did wrong in game number 1 is IG never addressed the Moon Queen. And right now, not only are they not addressing the Moon Queen, they're actively running away from the Moon Queen. But it looks like Puppet is going to be in some trouble up top, Breaky.
Yeah, the Keck Stun's just out of range, though. Fabelli thought he had a sure kill, but you gotta have that presence of mind. I mean, there's no reason for Engineer to just be standing there against a level 6 Puppet Master as if he's by himself. So that was not that moment, and Scout comes out. Puppet Master is gonna live in the end, but he got forced back. Another thing about that top 5, by the way, they first, again, Lion Esports got big after that. The deny on the tower was huge. Jonas fan, the fact that he lived, he got a little greedy right there. There were ports coming in from Lions, but there was 2 ports. They actually both canceled it. And I think it was from the bottom lane here, Torture and Moon Queen. And that has allowed them to actually just continue pushing this bottom lane. And actually the tower is very, very low now. And I'm looking at the Hellborn team with their, with the teleport situation. They do not have any homecoming drones across the board. So this is going to be a free tower kill here. For Lion Esports Club at the end, of course, Fuzi getting credit. And yeah, if that's what Hackstern said of address the Moon Queen, it's not happening here in game number 2. 417 gold per minute. She is once again having a phenomenal start here, just like she did last game, and we all know how that one turned out. So IG, no doubt, has to be a little bit worried here, to say the least, as, you know, looking at their side of the board and their positives. I mean, Master of Arms is off to a good start, 300 plus GPM. But again, this also goes back to what kind of build we're going to see on him. Is he going to go more the aggressive carry style, or will he go more the tablet, more that slick style, the utility build here on Master of Arms?
The way that I see it with TMSR and Slicks building Master of Arms as he does, he normally does that when he does not have to be a carry. There's a Master of Arms or a Hag on the team, but right now they're setting up for some action here in the bottom lane. There's more TPs. They're going to try to address this Moon Queen. Never mind, Moon Finale goes off as both supports drop.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, the hunted becomes the hunter right there, Breaky.
That's a perfect way to put it. I mean, that was ridiculous. They're sitting there ready to go for the gank, and all of a sudden they just explode. I mean, the Moon Finale was perfect right there. Jonas fan with the silence, the opening himself. Nothing that they could do. That was just superb play coming out from Lion Esports Club, specifically, of course, between Jonas fan and Fuzi. And speaking of Fuzi, he's got the Whispering Helm already. He goes for that first once again. Keeper of the Force is down here, but by himself, there's no way he's going to be picking up a kill necessarily. In fact, Moon Queen's even killing the Tree Dog, so getting a little bit of extra farm. Now, Witch Slayer's running in. It's only a level 3 Witch Slayer, Oh, wow, they're going to root right here. They really want this kill. The Moonbeam on him. Witzer! What a Moonbeam from Fuzi! It stops the Graveyard from hitting him. He's going to be able to get away. Talk about presence of mind. That was just perfect right there. Again, he knew he needed to do that in order to be able to get away from the second follow-up stun, and he did just that.
He did indeed, and of course we're getting the camera over there on Lions. You got Papa Bjorn, their manager, going to be hanging out there in the background as well. And Lions, you can see the focus on their face. They know that one more game. They just got to keep this up, and they are going to be going up against Stay Green in the semifinals, perhaps their hardest competition at the tournament. But between now and then, they've still got to take down the Internet Gangsters, who are down but not out right now, Breaky.
Yeah.
They still do have a Puppet Master who's farming all right at 300 gold per minute, going a similar build to Moon Queen, but he's only at about like 60% of the farm of this Moon Queen, who's already at the point of a Whispering Helm, and there's no signs of her stopping. If you're going to address the Moon Queen, you got to do it before they get the Whispering Helm up top. Puppet Master going to take the marksman shot. Kid going to miss one more time here from Seal Kid, and it looks like Puppet should get away no problem with those Strength Steam Boots.
Yeah, but you know what Puppet Master's been doing? He's pushing this top lane very aggressive by himself, and although he didn't die right there, Fibelli's got to be so much more careful about that. I mean, that could have very easily been a kill if he wasn't able to sidestep that keg stun. And then obviously be criticizing him even a little harsher. But the fact that he lived, obviously good news for Internet Gangsters. His farm, though, it has increased. He is at 200 gold per minute now. He is trying to get that Whispering Helm finished, as he has the Helm of the Victim currently purchased up. Moon Queen, in the meantime, she's in the jungle. Keeper the Force actually going to kind of flank her a little bit. Not going to be any kills by any means, but maybe just going to scare Moon Queen right here into thinking that they're possibly setting up a gang. But Fuzi doesn't care. He just continues to beat the creeps down. And Keeper the Forest is going to steal it, yep.
Oh,
well played.
What a jerk.
Well played right there. That's just being
you might pay for
lane. It. Wow, Scout's chasing. Oh, the Demon of the Master's cold, though. In comes the Bubba Show. Cannot be lethal. And a turnaround on the Scout right there. I kind of caught that halfway through, and as I say that, Keeper the Forest gets picked off.
It's all right. I was watching that one, Breaky. Right. You got the one up top. I got the one down here. We just need the split screen. Chaos TV, get on it. Let's go. No, down there, I mean, I said it right when it happened. He might pay for it. They were flying out Dust as Keeper of the Forest went for that creep. If he had seen Dust or Word of Revelation, no way he went for that creep. Courier was like an inch away to deliver it. Delivered it as Keeper was trying to TP on out. Easily interrupted with a Moonbeam. And then Torture and Moon Queen able to finish it off. No problem. Moon Queen now going to be getting that Energizer, and she's well on her way to another phenomenal game. Fuzi showing that he can play Slither, he can play Moon Queen, Wretched Hag, no matter what you put him on, he's going to find his farm, and he's going to be a terrifying presence here. IG, there's unfortunately not a whole lot of upsides for them right now. Zergo is still farming well, but Master of Arms is a hero that is notorious for needing a ton of farm to really become strong. He relies so much on his spells in the early game that levels are really what matters. That gold is simply not going to do a ton because he's going to need something like a Shrunken Head, but then he's going to put out no damage. If you don't go Shrunken Head, you'll put out some damage, but then you'll die. It's a catch-22 situation, and unfortunately, I really don't see a whole lot of ways for the Internet Gangsters to get back in this one, Breaky.
Well, yeah, you got to lean one way or the other. I mean, I don't want to act like, again, this isn't an overwhelming game here. 13 minutes in, the golden experience that is not too significant, but it is that Moon Queen factor, obviously, and we saw what happened last game. And this last game was kind of similar in that sense, too. I mean, it was never that massive of a lead, and then all of a sudden a couple of fights happened where Moon Queen was just able to out-farm them, and that showed, and then, you know, they pulled through. Top lane, yeah, they try to gank Puppet Master once again, but the response yet again comes in, and Jonas Havana will fall. So the root, actually, I don't even think was 100% necessary, but again, just making sure Scout gets picked off. So if you are going to be coming back in that, and again, they do close that gap even a little closer now in this game. So big pickoff on a Scout there.
No, absolutely. Getting pickoffs like that are going to be one way for IG to try to make some inroads back into this game. Once they get an Assassin's Shroud up on Puppet Master, they're going to be able to even do a little bit more with that between maybe a Witch Layer that's able to get a Portal Key, a Keeper of the Forest with his Invis. They could definitely pick up some more kills, but you still got to be worried about the ticking time bomb that is Moon Queen on the other side. 475 gold per minute, probably going to be going for a Firebrand into a Shrunken Head here, so look for those two to be completed probably by the 22-minute mark or so. But at the same time, Internet Gangsters are still finding their farm on 2 heroes now, above 350 gold per minute. So definite signs of life. Yeah. And they just got to continue on this path. Make sure not to take team fights that they're not going to be able to come out ahead from.
Yeah, he is going to be going that the assassin shot route. So definitely going more of that aggressive style on Puppet Master here. And definitely like where that's coming from, because again, that just goes back to the mindset from the beginning. They need to play aggressive. They need to take advantage of the earlier game start. Torture in the meantime. He's going to get comboed down right here. One more auto attack. No, the power supply, but he got another auto attack off, and Hanskin does fall. Insania showing the power of a Witch Slayer even in that support role. Oh, in this case, he has a secondary support, so obviously he has level 7 and got the silver bullet off, and Hanskin ultimately was not able to get away. So it does feel like that transition is kind of starting to take place here. For a Hellborn team, for Internet Gangsters. Now it's just a matter of will they be able to stop Fuzi once again. It's when are they going to be able to kill him here in this game to kind of stop him from getting this GPM, because you can do what you want to the surrounding team, but unless you really stop Moon Queen, she will take over the game. So
I feel like Lions have maybe been playing this one a little bit wrong here. They're taking team fights. They're trying to go for ganks where they don't really need to. Now they're going to try to go for this Keeper of the Forest. They're going to get the energy field down, but the root turnaround is going to be able to grab Engineer. Moon Queen comes in, though. She's going to be able to pick up one and make it 2. So Lions going to get credit for both those. Hanskin picks up 1. But, okay, in this case, Lions are taking a team fight where they didn't need to. It works out.
Yeah, it works out big time for Lion Esportsklubb, but, it's kind of funny they're seeing, too. Master of Arms.
Glacius.
It's what's going on up here. Glacius, he's going to be found, and boom goes the dynamite.
The old no boots Glacius. I've been there.
What I was going to say, though, with Moon Queen, oh, no, it was Master of Arms. Master of Arms right there. He had a Defensive Master's Call up on him, and immediately when he used it, he actually ran through the energy field and purged it off. So I'm not saying he would have lived if that didn't happen. I mean, he's still very likely could have been bursted down, but obviously the end result was that he got picked off. And there you go. So here we are, 16 minutes in now, and again, Moon Queen, that GPM just continues to be impressive. 545 gold per minute. 1,300 gold saved up. Firebrand already finished. And just like last game, getting curious to see if he goes now for the Shrunken Head follow-up, or if it is going to be straight into that Geometer's Bane. Obviously, going against Keeper of the Forest. Either one's good in this case, but definitely curious to see what he goes for. So, Puppet Master, the Assassin Shroud, it is coming along. And once he gets that's where that key really needs to turn for the Hellborn team. But how's Jonathan Van doing, by the way? 1,400 gold saved up. Yeah, 275 GPM, not bad. And then Super KG, we can't forget about him, too. I mean, so focus on the Moon Queen, but look at Bestlet's Portal Key out on the bottom lane. The chain reaction started followed up. Keeper of the Forest, he's going to be locked down. The Kegstun coming out on top. And down goes Keeper of the Forest. So, new Portal Key, new present, new kill.
Yeah, I mean, Super KG does a lot of things really well. And one of those things is, of course, going to be getting in there, winning his lane. And if he doesn't win his lane, which in this situation he shouldn't have because it was a 1v2, he tends to fly under the radar, just quietly get his farm, pick up his items that he needs, and then start to make things happen. Up top, Witch Slayer definitely taking some damage, but Scout is not going to be able to really get anything done. And it looks like we do have some updates here from our Twitter poll, Breaky, and it looks like, IG closing the gap a little bit more there with about a third of the vote. So guys, if you do want to vote, make sure to head on over to Twitter. You can do that by getting the link in Twitch chat. Type in !Lions or !IG. That'll get you the link, and then send your vote in via Twitter, and we'll get that tallied on up here. Figure out who you guys are favoring at home in this matchup with IG on the edge.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to see that kind of go. More IG fans definitely coming out. It's good to see, but right now they can't be too happy again because Fuzi is just on fire here on the Moon Queen. 2,700 more gold saved up, so we're going to get that answer here shortly. On if it probably is going to very likely be that Geometer's Bane, in fact, as of course he probably would have got the Mighty Blade if it was going to be the Shrunken. Anyways, that will be coming up here soon. Goo's going to be put down on the top lane. Master of Arms going to do his part to prevent this top push from being successful as much as possible. He has 1,400 gold saved up, so he is still a little bit off from that Shrunken Head himself. Middle lane in the meantime, Torture going to be bursted down right there. The Silver Bullet. Keeper of the Force is running in as well as a just in case with a root ready to go, but obviously not needed right there. So Hanskin, he's found himself at the other end of that Silver Bullet a couple times now. So the secondary support's kind of going at each other even. But bottom tower pushed him by the Hellborn team.
Yeah, really good push right there from Puppet Master. Just picked up the new Assassin Shroud. Yeah. And so using it right now up in the top lane, actually, maybe looking for a kill. But in that bottom lane, he was using it saying, hey, you guys aren't really able to kill me right now unless you're carrying Dust or a Rev. I'm willing to take that chance. Gonna go ahead and work on that tower, and he brings it home. So Lions definitely losing a little bit of their map control right there. Gonna have their jungle exposed a bit more, as we do see the Geometer's Bane just purchased here by Moon Queen.
Yeah.
And so I was curious, just like you, whether she was gonna go for the Shrunken Head or not. I was still leaning towards it a little bit, but Geometer's Bane is definitely gonna do a lot for her. Going up against heroes like the Glacius, gonna be able to remove the Ice Imprisonment. And of course, Puppet Master and Keeper of the Forest. Things like the Root, things like the Puppet Hold, gonna cleanse those right on off. And of course, always a better farming tool.
Yeah, I think it's one of those cases exactly. Anything that the Shrunken Head would be good for removing, as Scout gets killed by Glacius right here. I assume he was trying to kill the Ancients, but Glacius finds him and ends up comboing on top of him. So down goes Scout. That is a little embarrassing for Jonas Fan right there. Not a hero you want to be dying to in a solo situation, but he does get picked off. And actually, speaking of picked off, Moon Queen, there's too much support here behind. In fact, they see Keep It the Force right here. Energy field goes down. Kex in it will hit Master Boss. Flash out backwards. Keep It the Force. He tried to get the root off, but he couldn't. The stuns were too strong right there. And he does fall. Pestilence thinking about chasing. He has a portal key. He hasn't built. There he goes. He jumps in before the goo comes down. Master of Arms. The Core Proc comes out. The Kex and a follow in. Master of Arms will go down. Puppet Master trying to get the kill on the Moon Queen, but there's the Geometer's Bane coming into play. But here comes the buyback from Keep It the Force. Root goes down. It doesn't matter. The Moonbeam. The quad kill for Moon Queen, and Lion Esportsklubb is pulling huge. The Annihilation possibly. The Team of the Master's call. There's the Annihilation for Fuzi. Lion Esportsklubb is on the verge of moving on to the semifinals here of Dreamhack winner 2013.
Oh my God, Breaky. I mean, they went back in right there trying to support their Puppet Master. The buyback on both Zergo as well as Zibby trying to get back, but they simply didn't have enough. Puppet Master, you saw him there, drop the ultimate on Pestilence. There is no damage, and that just comes to having, one, no support around him, and two, there's just not enough farm on Puppet. Forced to go into something like the Mighty Blade here after the Assassin's Shroud, and it showed. Right there, Pestilence, 1500 life, able to survive just long enough, and Lions with a very nice team fight, as you said, on the verge of moving on to the semifinals here at Dreamhack winner, and they just need to keep playing as they are. Moon Queen, 650 gold per minute with an Annihilation. Holy crap, I don't think it gets much better. We'll see if she can break that 800 mark again, because Lions, the train is going, and this train stops for no man.
That is very, very true. And, you know, the point that I was making, though, before that fight was Moon Queen, with the Geometer's Bane, again, it takes care of purging pretty much what Shrunken Heads would be good for anyways. The Keeper, the Puppet Master abilities, you got the Glacial Freeze, so there is a little bit more, of course, but obviously the Geometer's Bane, the much better farming tool, the more armor, even the better item overall in that sense. So he has another nearly 3,900 gold now saved up, though. So who cares? He has a Shrunken Head all of a sudden.
Doesn't matter now.
After he gets an Annihilation. And by the way, Jonas Fan obviously picking off Sender here at the bottom lane. Gets a free kill on the Glacius. Maybe even some revenge.
Middle lane,
Witch Slayer gets picked. Puppet Master, he's in trouble.
Yeah, he certainly is. They can't get a miss right there, so I guess that's going to end that small skirmish, but it does represent another support hero dead, and that's, of course, going to be 3 hero deaths here for Insania, as well as 4 for Sender. Scout's going to be getting in from behind. He might try to open up right here. There's the impalement, the gore stun coming out. Zergo going to go down there, and Breaky, they're going to cancel that TP. The tier 2 tower is going to drop as Lions are just choo-chooing away.
Yeah, IG, you can start to tell. After that Annihilation especially, and I can't blame them, I mean, they seem to be a little demoralized. They're just not sure what they can do at this point. They're kind of just they're getting caught by themselves, so 1 by 1 here. Lion Esportsklubb, on the other hand, not 1 by 1. Well, they're killing 1 by 1, but they are sticking together as a team now, and Moon Queen's leading the way. This tower is going to easily get destroyed. The top lane, they're still both the first and the secondary, but IG knows that they do not have much more of a window left, if any, even at this point. But
oh man, these Kong wards as well. I mean, they're going to go ahead and take the double stack Gangsters, but you can already see there are wards there. Nice counter warding coming out from Sender, knowing that this is the likely strategy for Lions to want to move into that Kong pit. And as soon as that ward was dewarded there on the high ground, Lions are all of a sudden a little bit more skeptical about their chances of being able to sneak a Kong ward. So they're just going to make sure to take no risks because they don't need to at this point, Breaky. They've got the hyper-farmed Moon Queen. They've got all the momentum and the advantage in the series. No reason to go ahead and take any kind of risks. On the other side, the team heavily behind IG is like, we need some risks. They're going to try to sneak Kong.
Yeah. That's I mean, the thing is, though, even with the Conger kill, it's obviously always big, but yeah, they're going to get it, too. I mean, Lions has no clue. Lions has absolutely no clue. So this whole stealth strategy going for the Conger steal, it's very likely going to happen. And I assume, of course, it's going to be on Puppet Master. But it's a case of, yes, that's good, but is that actually going to really be a huge difference maker in these fights? I mean, if he comes back and resurrects in a fight, will it matter when his team's dead around him because of just overall the initiation and the damage that Lions has as a team? So,
you know what? I don't think they're even going to get this.
It was spotted, yeah. The Illusion spotted it, and now Fuzi had the heads up to go scout it, and sure enough, yeah, they're not even going to get it. So they weren't fully committing to it either, and that might have been
There's going to be a fight here, Breaky.
There's the hold. Puppet Master going to be chopped in the background. Bypass. Where's the follow-up? The Shrunken Head. The Moon Finale in the background. Look at the team. The Glaives are bouncing like a freaking bouncing boomerang or something. Puppet Master, he's going to end up dropping as well. That's going to do it. Lion Esportsklubb, they're going to the semifinals to take on Stay Green with a 2-0 series victory over Internet Gangsters. And they're clapping. They're showing at least a little bit of an emotion there.
Absolutely. I mean, for guys that just won a major match here in Dreamhack Winter, maybe a little bit understated, but that's just kind of how Lions are, Breaky. They come in, they say, this is just a casual win for us. It's definitely an important one, but the real win, that's going to be up against Stay Green, their next opponents in the semifinals. And, of course, those are going to be going on tomorrow, but right now for Lions, it's going to be time for a little bit of celebration and strategy sessions for tomorrow, how to approach perhaps their biggest competition and the reigning champions.
Yeah, it's, you know, that's, they were hugging at the end and everything, so that was good to see, obviously, again. They're happy, but great point. I mean, now you're just moving on in the tournament. Again, they are here to ultimately win Dreamhack Winter, so a big win for them. They take out IG 2-0, but now they got to definitely start focusing on Stay Green, which I'm sure they have been planning for Stay Green from the very beginning. Now, granted, they probably thought if they were going to play Stay Green, it was going to be in the grand finals. It's not. Because of how the tournament's playing out here, because of their second place finish, really, they're going to be playing Stay Green in the semifinals, as you just talked about, and that, of course, will be tomorrow. We'll obviously have an update for you guys on whether that's the first or the second match, but that's big. That is huge. So I know a lot of people got to be excited about that. I got nerd chills all over, man, just even thinking about it. That's going to be a fun matchup to cast there, and I can't wait for that one tomorrow already. But now, on the other side of the spectrum, we got Internet Gangsters. Unfortunately, their road is going to end here, obviously, so it will be a 5th, 6th place finish. They still go home with $3,000. Yeah. It's disappointing, though. I mean, they were expecting to do a lot better here at this event, no doubt.
They definitely were. They wanted to be contending for the finals. I've been talking with Insania a lot all weekend, and he was definitely feeling confident in his team to make it at least to those semifinals, if not the grand finals themselves. But right here, they're just not going to stack up well against Lions, and a lot of that comes back to the group performance. If they had won their game against Denial, they'd be the ones that are facing the guys at Shit Happens instead. But those group matches, those best of ones, so important, didn't bring home the win there, end up facing an extremely hard opponent in the quarters, and they're done. Just like that, 5th, 6th place, $3,000, but their time at Dreamhack is done for playing. They're going to be watching from the sidelines from now on.
They are. But, you know, Insania is not afraid to admit, I mean, he's good friends with Stay Green, so I'm sure it's safe to say they're going to be cheering for, especially when they got knocked out by Lion Esportsklubb. But, again, that is going to be such a fun matchup tomorrow. Can't wait for that. Obviously, with that said, we do have another match here. You were just talking about that one. Denial Esports versus Shit Happens. I can't believe, I did not think I would be saying that for a bracket stage match, but Denial Esports versus Shit Happens is going to be our next relegation match, as we're calling it, second versus third place team, to see who will move on to the other semifinals. And, of course, the winner of that will play Too Much Sugar, as we're talking about, of course, the first place team out of Group B. So now that is, the players are starting to set up and everything. So hopefully that shouldn't be too much longer here before we'll be able to go on that. But there is going to be a little bit of a break here, of course. And I believe we should definitely try to get an interview, obviously, with somebody from Lion Esportsklubb. So we're going to be having that coming at you next, and that's what matters here. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned to Dreamhack TV here, live from Dreamhack Winter 2013. We're going to grab an interview. We'll be back. Somebody from Lion Esportsklubb is going to be joining us to talk about that victory there.